Hi, this is Paul at Kiln Frog. Today I'm going to talk about electrical supply and why that's important to know what you have when you're shopping for a kiln. What I mean by electrical supply is what is the power coming to the outlet that you're going to be plugging the kiln into. Most people know that there is 120 volt power and 240 volt power in most households. 120 volt power is used to power your lights, used to power your appliances, and sometimes there's a dedicated supply for your refrigerator because it needs to pull as much power as it can from that circuit. And then there are 240 volt supplies or 240 volt outlets that your dryer runs on, your range runs on, some of your large appliances, your AC system. So it's important to know what kind of outlet you have that you're going to be using for your kiln, because that will determine what size kiln you can get. When trying to determine what kind of electrical supply you have at a particular outlet, it's usually best to consult an electrician. That way you're sure you know what you have coming into the outlet, so you know what kind of kiln you can plug into that outlet. Like I said before, there are typically 120 volt and 240 volt outlets in a typical residence, but there's also 208 volt, which is different from 240 volt. There's 208 volt single phase and 208 volt three phase. Those are mostly found in commercial buildings. So if you're in a residence, most likely you have 120 volt or 240 volt. The 240 volt has got more power coming into it, so you're going to be able to plug a larger kiln into it. And we'll have another video that explains the differences between the different types of 120 volt outlets and the different types of 240 volt outlets. So stay tuned for those.